It's Monday. It's 6 o'clock. It is the Monday Snack. Hi everyone. Hope you are all doing really, really well. Hope you had a good week last week, and thanks for joining me again. So, you know what? Usually, right, I'm rushing around last minute trying to get everything kind of happening for the show, but today I was the picture of absolute serenity. I've been chilling. I've been chilling for hours, man. I was so on top of things today. I'm immensely proud of myself. But enough of that. Enough about me. This is all about my guest this week, who is an amazing singer, songwriter, actor. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of him. He's the loveliest guy as well. It's Kylie Jonel. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful individual. So, as per usual, first bit of our chat, a little bit of history, a little bit about him, how he kind of got into doing what he's doing. So, enjoy. Here we go. Okay, folks, today I have with me a very special guy. A very, very, very special guy. An incredibly talented dude. A singer, he's a songwriter, he's an actor. The man does it all. The man does it all. It is the amazing Kylie Jonel. Kylie, what's happening? How you doing?
I'm good, Mr. Smalls. Wonderful to be here, man. Thank you for that intro, man. Yeah, I feel gassed.
You know something? It's all perfectly warranted. It's all warranted.
I appreciate it.
I've been saying this a lot, right, since I started doing these podcasts. But yet again, this man is you're one of my favourite people. You're one of my favourite people.
It's your turn,
you know
man.
Something?
Absolutely.
Because we were chatting just before we kind of went on air, because we met originally when you were doing your little boy band thing with CL6, right? Little gospel,
I was thinking about this.
Little gospel boy band thing, and a really talented bunch. Really, really talented bunch. The music you guys were doing was really eclectic. Lots of different influences. It was really good fun, and so I ended up producing some bits for you guys.
That's it, yeah.
And then we kind of pivoted and it moved on, and I ended up producing your EP, which was, again, we just spoke about, was an amazing experience. The writing, the songwriting, the lyrical content, everything was just so on point. Very, very impressive. So
thank you.
It's always been really, really cool working with you, right? And so starting off with talking about your writing, you've got a great turn of phrase lyrically. When the way you craft your lyrics, right? It's always you'll send me a guide or something, and I'll kind of play it back and think, man, how did you just get that nice little twist on that? You know, lots of imagery, lots of really, really cool ideas. So there's that side of what you do that always really impresses me, and also vocally, the EP we did had a lot of stylistic twists and turns. I'd say some things were rocky, something a bit of country, a bit of, you know, you don't like to mess around and just get a bit quirky with stuff. So you've got this, I think you've got a very soulful voice, but it's a very distinctive thing that's happening. So when you sang on my first record, again, you came in, was
great, man.
And you kept, obviously, you know, I missed the last minute. You said that. Missed the last minute. Again, it was a quirky falsetto thing, but straight away you just jumped on it. It was a really, really cool vibe. So I want to know, I've been yapping, right? But I want to know who influenced, or which bands, which artists influenced your songwriting, and also which artists influenced your vocal delivery, because it feels very seasoned, and at the same time feels very instinctive is the wrong word, but it's like a thing. It doesn't feel forced. It feels very natural, but yet really, really cool. So where were those influences?
Man, that's interesting to be. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, I guess I grew up in a household that played a lot of reggae. So my dad was a proper, like, he was an MC.
Right. Okay.
You know, his name was Bill Trojan. And
right.
Like when I was a kid, he'd be on the stage doing his thing, and there's like somewhere he's got a mixtape of me as a kid, maybe 7 years old, just singing some stuff with him. when he's doing a little mixtape. Must find that. But
Right.
I grew up on a lot of reggae music, so that was always my influence. It was all about vibe, and I think I grew up kind of just having a sense of vibe and just energy and passion. And then as I became an early teen, I mean, I got onto the Boyz II Men stuff early because my sisters were massive Boyz II Men fans, Jodeci, and then Michael Jackson, like just standard. That was just like, I remember the Bad album, we had the vinyl.
Right.
And we rinsed that when we used to use hi-fi players. So that was the thing, man. And I would say probably then I began to find my own interests. So I listened to a lot of Brian McKnight. And even though I used to listen to Boyz II Men, I loved Wanye Morris. It was his voice I kind of listened to a lot. So stylistically, he started to become an influence. And then it was I then moved on to who was the band I used to listen to, like random kind of R&B bands like As Yet, who'd had like one hit or something, but just that one tune. Got bands like Shy, and the very first time I used to sing that song a lot. And then I fell into a lot of gospel after that. So kind of Kirk Franklin, Fred Hammond, Marvin Sapp. I rinsed his stuff in my late adult life. But I've always loved I think I've always enjoyed a wide range of music. So I can sit down and listen to a Coldplay album, or I can sit down and listen to like a Muse album, or it's just, I love sound.
So that's what I was going to kind of get onto, because you were talking about a lot of R&B bands.
Yeah.
I just visualize a high top, let's say, you're talking, right?
Yeah.
So,
I had a slant. I used to have a slant. Yeah. The Bobby Brown slant.
You're talking about a lot of those R&B acts, right? But when I'm hearing you singing, especially on your stuff, there's more of a, but it's like it's not pigeonholed. I hear a lot of Stevie in your voice.
You know what? Before you said it, I was like, I miss Stevie off. Stevie, John Legend. Oh my gosh, those two. Stevie, most definitely. I listened to a lot of Stevie in my kind of late teens, early 20s. Stevie, that was it.
Yeah, so there's that Stevie thing in your voice, but it almost lends itself to anything. So playing when we did Repeat, obviously we did. I kind of like the fact you just let me kind of sort of go a bit left field and do something a bit weird. Yeah. So I said, kind of, I'm gonna do something country. I feel like let's do this country thing, or let's do a rock thing, or whatever. And the voice seems to fit because it's about delivery. So I find it interesting that you were sort of recording all of those R&B acts, but at the same time, then you're saying the Coldplay thing, and then that starts to make sense to me from the way I hear the way you deliver vocals.
Yeah.
No, it's very, very, very happening. Very cool. Lost myself there. Cool. You know what? It was really funny when Kylie was talking about all these R&B acts. I was kind of sitting here trying to practice my running, man. It's really sad, I know, but there you go. Anyway, let me say hi to some folks. Hi to Stefan. Good to see you, man. Hi to Cher. Hi to Martin. To Carol. To cousin Jeff, head of the family. To Sue. To Tula. Oh, Tula, good to see you. Pat. Oh man, thanks for checking in. And to Andy. Thank you guys. Oh, and Jimmy Jam has just logged in as well. Thanks for dropping by. So, Kylie, great singer, great vibe, and what we talk about in the next bit, he's a really amazing writer. And I wanted to sort of delve into how he goes about his writing, and also how he kind of got into the whole acting thing. He's doing some big time acting stuff now as well. So yeah, check this out. Here we go. You're a, like, I think, department head, secondary school teacher, the whole thing. Then you transitioned into acting.
Yeah, man.
Right? Now, I had no idea, right? I knew you were Mr. Versatile, but I had no idea that's part of your skill set, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I want to know a few things, actually. Multiple questions today for you, right?
It's all good.
What sort of conversations did you have with yourself, right, that resulted in that career pivot, the acting thing? Because the music was always going to be there, you know.
Of course.
We grew up in church, we did the church thing, we was singing. But where did the acting pivot come from?
So I studied my drama. This really roots back to my drama teacher when I was in year 9, and she's like, "You're doing GCSE drama. And there's something there." We had a lesson on Macbeth. God rest her soul. She passed away last year. And I then did drama GCSE. She chased me down again when I didn't pick it, because I'm in a Caribbean household. My dad's like, "Look, you're doing business, you're doing computing, you're doing a job that's going to get you, a subject that's going to get you a job."
Right.
And I just didn't put it down. I was like, I'm not doing drama, I'm not doing anything creative. And she chased me down and said, "Look, you're doing drama A-level." So I picked it again. And it was my lifeblood, man. Like, I grew up just loving performing and writing. And then when I was in church, we'd do a lot of, we'd write plays, me and my wife, then friend, and we'd write a lot of plays for the youth group and just put our own stuff on a very amateur level. And of course, performing through, being in a group CL6 and so forth. So I've always loved performing. And I think in another life, I probably would have gone to drama school straight out of A-levels and I probably wouldn't have gone to uni to do sort of digital media and cultural studies, which I ended up doing. So that was always my
It was always there. I was
always there, Andrew.
I didn't know, right? That's really cool. I didn't know that. Did it take up the same amount of time creatively for you as music did? Because you obviously spend a lot of time writing, songwriting and performing. So was the acting on whatever level, was that taken up an equal amount of your time, or was it something that was on the periphery?
I would say no, you're definitely on the periphery. It would come in like kind of seasons, and it would normally be primarily it ended up becoming a thing that I did to prepare for a church event or Christmas, this Christmas season, the Easter season, doing things around that. But creatively and personally, the acting didn't feature, but it was always eating away at me in my mind. It was just all the ideas in the phone, sitting, doing the commute, writing things in my phone and writing things in little books, but never really having the creative energy to realize them professionally or personally. Right. Yeah, so it was very, very much just in the closet.
And what often impresses me so much with so many folks that tend to, be generous enough to come over and do stuff, is that even if you're not doing something as a full-time career, so I remember you when you were teaching, you come over here and you deliver a vocal, man. It's like, man, I'm just like, jeez. Whatever I'm doing, playing, writing, whatever, I have to really graft to keep those chops in some kind of, respectable state.
Okay.
So you'd come over here and done a full day teaching, teenagers, and you'd walk in there and just like I'm saying, deliver a vote. It was just like, boy. So how much work are you putting in to develop your vocal ability, your writing ability? How much work are you putting in, or are you one of those like, one of those people that is just kind of just, it's like shelling peas, it just kind of comes to you?
That's a really interesting question, I actually think when I was in CL6, and I thought about this the other day, when I was in CL6, we were together for 13 years, and we would rehearse every single Thursday just for hours. And that would be partly catching jokes, partly just munching food, but a lot of rehearsal. We'd go over the harmonies, we'd be writing together. We did so many shows and, you know, taking the night bus home from like, this is me from age 13 right through to 26.
Right.
And I remember reading the book Outliers, and he speaks about, you know, the 100 hours or the 10,000 hours.
10,000 hours, yeah.
So I actually think we put in so many hours in that 13-year period that was a really good foundation for me.
Right.
So kind of coming out of that season and then going into my own sort of thing, doing my own thing creatively as an individual, and then working with yourself and so forth, the muscle memory was there.
Right.
So I'm learning, and don't get me wrong, there were times when the insecurity kicks in, and I'm like, oh, can I do that again? Can I really write? Can I get another song out? But I'm learning to trust the muscle memory and to just trust the process, because all of that work that went in before, I think it really has informed what I do. And I still have to, like, you know, sit down and, like, if I'm writing a song, for example, about a topic that I'm unfamiliar with, or I want to cover a concept, I still have to do a little bit of thinking and research and dig in, but I'm learning to get it down, then get it right.
I find it very, very hard, or actually not hard, but impossible to write outside of my own experience. So there has to be something going on, or there has to be something going on that I'm writing about. Even if I'm writing out frustration. So you were here when I'm trying to write this track, and I'm struggling to write the track. So I thought, let's write a track about not being able to write a track. And that's the song.
That was genius, man.
You know, because it's like, that's what's going on with me right now. Yeah. You know, are you someone that can write outside your experience, and you can create this other concept? Because do you write anything, like, do you write plays? Do you write any drama?
Yeah. I just finished writing a play, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's a play. It first started as a monologue, like a monologue I kind of scribbled down in 10 minutes, but that was based on a real experience.
Right.
And then that became I entered it for a competition. It won it, and then cool. I'm now working with the organisation Nouveau Riche and Camden People's Theatre under Seed Commission to develop it for into a play for the stage.
Oh,
so
wow.
I've done the first draft, but really and truly that did derive from an experience that was rooted in truth. So even when I'm writing, because it's sort of autobiographical but also fictional, so I think even when I am writing outside of my experience, there's always a grain of truth in there. Right. I think that grain of truth helps it to be kind of authentic for me.
It always sets a spark from my head when you throw an idea my way. It's very, really cool. Very, very cool.
No, I appreciate that, man.
Surely can't be that. No. All day is driving me crazy. Been out to grab a snack. I got a big bag. The second big bag. The page is still blank. What can I say? Staring at the page. Wanna be like Quincy, but I came up empty. Wanna take it to the bridge, but the lyric just won't fit. Gotta find a key. Things wrong with me. Driving me crazy. Surely can't be that bad. Surely can't be that bad. Second bad man. Page is still blank.
Cool. Yeah, hi to a few more folks. Maxine, Daniel, Mick, good to see you. Good to see everybody. Yeah, very talented dude. Really amazing writer. Kylie's EP was called To Whom It May Concern. You get it on all these platforms, iTunes and all those places. Check it out. He's written some amazing songs on that. To Whom It May Concern. Really, really worth checking out. Righty ho. So, next thing we're doing the Impossible Choice Quiz. I found this quite amusing this week. Kylie took it very seriously, He took it very, very seriously. There was no messing around. So, I think, I think you may well chuckle slightly at this. Enjoy. Here is the Impossible Choice Quiz. You've seen the podcast, you know what happens, right? It's quick fire. There's no hesitation. I throw something your way. You come up with a choice. Yeah? All
Okay.
good. Right. So,
Yep.
first one. Vocalists.
Okay.
Marvin Gaye or Donny Hathaway?
That's deep.
No hesitation.
All right. All right. I'm going. Damn, Marvin Gaye. I'm gonna regret that.
I thought you were going to say Donny, That's really
You know
interesting.
what? It was on the tip of my tongue, man.
Cool. That's
But
great.
There's something about Marvin Gaye and just that.
So
grit,
that reaction is my desire with all these questions.
Oh
Great.
man.
Okay, right. Next one.
Can I change?
No. We're done. Right. So next one. Which of these songs do you wish that you wrote? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday by the Beatles, or Lately by Stevie Wonder.
Oh, Andrew, that's a naughty question, man. Oh,
Hurry.
that is a naughty question.
Hurry.
Lately.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Both killer tunes, man. Both killer tunes. Right. Okay. Right. This is to do with the acting, right? So imagine, right? You're now a megastar. You're
Okay.
a megastar. You're a movie star, right?
Okay.
Which lead film role, would you want of these two alternatives, right? Do you want to be Indiana Jones? Yeah? Or
Okay.
do you want to be Tom Cruise in the Mission Impossible franchise? Which one? You going Indiana Jones or Mission Impossible?
Mission Impossible.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
The action man. Yeah?
Yeah, Mission
Okay.
Impossible.
I used to love the Indiana Jones movies, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're great as well, man. This is it. I used to analyze those films when I taught media studies.
Cool. Right. Okay. Gospel vocalists. Hezekiah Walker or John P. Key?
Hezekiah Walker.
Okay. I didn't want to go for the obvious ones, so I thought,
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Okay.
Okay. Lovely. Yeah. Cool.
You've
Right.
been thinking.
Ah, yeah. Okay, right. And last one. Going back to your boy band history, right? Which of these boy bands would you be a member of, right?
Ooh.
Blackstreet or Jodeci?
Ooh, Blackstreet.
Really?
Yeah, Blackstreet, man. Yeah, just their harmonies as vocalists as well. I just
Okay.
think technically they were just. I mean, Jodeci had the grit and the vibe, but yeah.
Okay,
Blackstreet,
cool.
man. Yeah,
I like
there's something
that,
about
okay.
Blackstreet. Yeah.
Some interesting answers there. I like that. Some interesting answers. Very, very cool. Very, very, very cool. Right. That reaction to the the Stevie Wonder Lately or Beatles one. Yeah. Oh, that's naughty. Oh, that's so. Oh, that's naughty. I was laughing. I've been editing, just laughing at Kylie. Took it so seriously. Very funny. Okay. Hi to Sam. Good to see you, Sam. I think I said hi to Carol already, but if I didn't, hi Carol. Wonderful. Right. This next section, right? I'll tell you something. Singers, they always fascinate me because I've got such a dodgy voice. So singers fascinate me. So I wanted to kind of get inside Callie's head in terms of the way you approach your singing, and we delved more into the acting because Callie got a part on the West End production of Book of Mormon. So, he's kind of moved into the musical theatre thing. So we had a bit of a chat about that as well. Check this out. I've always felt, right, that a good vocalist needs to display a huge degree of vulnerability in order to really connect with a song or with the audience, right? Now, you've always seemed really comfortable and really amazing at doing this, yeah? And I know nothing about acting, but I imagine that vulnerability is even more valuable currency, right? So, couple of questions here, right? So, in terms of singing, have you always naturally been able to step outside of yourself in order to deliver a performance, right? And is it something that you can switch on and off? You know, when people are in character,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
have you naturally been able to do that?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, in many ways, yes. My earliest memory of that is at 13, and I was in a competition at the Hackney Empire, and I remember just feeling quite nervous because I started singing. Dad was putting me on the circuit, and it was the first time I remember just having this very euphoric moment on stage at the end of You Are Not Alone. And I don't actually remember what happened, but it was a really intense kind of musical, almost quite spiritual moment for me as a performer. Right. And ever since then, I do find that, I mean, there'll be times when I just don't feel, sometimes I feel like I just don't feel physically like I'm there. But once that space is ready creatively, and I'm, especially if it's a performance situation, and I don't know if it's the adrenaline and the nerves and stuff kind of helping, but I do find in that moment, once I'm there and I just have to commit, I'm able to connect with the muse then, and just the inspiration from God, and just let it out, man. And I guess part of the vulnerability is knowing that, you know, I can't do every single vocal trick in the world, or I can't manipulate my voice and do every single thing I might envisage. But I know in that moment what I am and what I have to bring and what I have to offer in its imperfection is as it should be for that moment. So I think kind of trusting that is really helpful. But definitely that experience at 13, like I it's very visceral. Like I remember that moment, and I think that was a real turning point for me as a singer in terms of like potential. Yeah.
I see so often, I'm fortunate to have some great people like yourself just come here, and I'm observing you all through the glass, and there are very few people that are able to deliver a performance full of emotion and grit in a clinical way. Everyone always looks like there's something going on, like that thing. Do you feel like, because if I watch you next door sing, I lost all this footage of your sessions, which is really annoying. But when I watch you next door singing, I'll ask you to deliver a line, and you'll go up to the mic, and you'll just kind of deliver, and then it's over. And then you're back in the room. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I see with singers. I've been trying to find ways to understand, to articulate it, to make that thing, to get the emotion of that line or the intensity of the anger. You have to go somewhere else.
Yeah, 100%.
And then I'm like, is that right? And then you're like, you're out, you're back, yeah. And is that right? The other line, no, then you go, that line, that line, okay, cool, let's go again. And then you're in, and then you're back.
That's a really interesting observation. I've never actually noticed that. Yeah.
When you decided to take the plunge and do the acting thing, and you started going to acting classes and the rest of it, what was the acting class experience like? Because you must have to dig deep from a different place in order to make that happen. Was that weird? How does it compare to singing?
You know what? That's Andrew, I would say acting definitely took me, like I learned so much about myself, because I saw 2018 to 2019 I studied, went back to drama school to study, and that for me, it was really about self-discovery. And when I originally went, I said, I want to find out more about myself, because essentially acting is about being human. Of course, there's an element of performance like I do when I sing, but it did feel different, I guess, because I'd been singing so religiously for years in church and just on the circuit and in studios. I'd become very accustomed to that and expressing myself in that manner, still with the very sort of vulnerability. But with the acting, being a teacher and coming at it, like I was like 36 at the time, and I'm like one of the oldest, probably the oldest in the class. Right. Everyone's like 24, 26, someone 19. I'm like, dude, I'm Mr. Muirhead. Do you know what I'm saying? And I had to like some of my teachers were 10 years younger than me. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
I had to kind of humble myself and really kind of just allow myself just not to get in my way. So acting, it was actually really challenging, because I had to strip away all of the kind of things I put on myself as a teacher and a professional, and going to work and taking myself very seriously. And I then had to just become this blank canvas. They talk about, becoming this blank canvas that can pull out these emotions and pull out these, this just connection to whatever it is we're conveying. And I find that doing that has helped me to become a better maybe singer and performer.
Obviously, on the back of acting school and the rest of it, you landed a role in the Book of Mormon, right?
Yeah.
Which, when you told me that, I was really excited. I was like, wow, it's just like, that's just really cool.
Yeah.
And then we locked down. What a man.
Bro, mad.
So you were in
Madness.
rehearsals, right? When it happened?
Rehearsals, yeah. So January, I did 4 weeks of rehearsals from January last year, and that all happened very quickly as well because I had got an agent in the summer of 2019. Was auditioning for some bits. Did a production a production at the Catford Theatre in December, and then boom, it was like, oh, the audition for Book of Mormon, and it was like mad rigorous, like 7 auditions. And I'm thinking, I'm going to go in the show and we're going to get a good 8 weeks, couple months. 4 intense weeks. I think it was probably the hardest thing I'd done in a long time, if not ever.
Right.
Like singing, dancing, choreography. I think it, like in the first week, bro, seriously, I was on a train and I think I was getting ill, like my throat was going. I just had a random nosebleed on the way. I was just like, what's going on? My body's shutting down. You're tearing me apart. It was hard. And we do like a warm up before the rehearsal and then we'd start. But it was rigorous, man. Really, really, but intense. And I think looking back, it just took me to another level was in terms of just that rigor and resilience. So I'm super grateful for that. Yeah.
Yeah, really proud of the boy. Book of Mormon, that's big. That's really huge. Very, very cool. Very, very, very cool. Hi to Sam. Hi to Steve as well. Wonderful. Right. So we've come to the Tour Life Pop Quiz. So this week, folks, right? This week, I lost my mojo. Those of you that watch the podcast regularly, right? You know, I come up with these completely ridiculous scenarios. Yeah. And for some reason this week, my inspiration, it left me. So we've got 2, what I think are quite funny scenarios. And the others I came up with, they were just simply too ridiculous. But Kylie, he got into the spirit of this. And again, made me chuckle. Enjoy this. The Tour Life Pop Quiz coming right at you. 2 elements today to the Tour Life Pop Quiz. All right?
Okay. Tour Life Pop Quiz.
Here's the first one. Right. So, you've been working on a new song. The song's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. And you're planning to perform it at a launch gig for your new album, right? This thing is incredible. It's a lyrical masterpiece. It's a tearjerker. It's unbelievable. You play it to the lovely Mrs. Kylie, right? And you said, you know what? I'm dedicating this to you, man. Comes to show day, yeah? Just before showtime, you're waiting in the wings to go on, right? Your mum's in the building, yeah? Your mum's like, run through the bush. She's thinking, I've got to see Kylie before I go on stage. She comes up to you. She's welling up. She's welling up because she's been hanging by the front of house desk, right? With all the technicians, and she's seen the lyrics come up on the video feed for the show, right? She's convinced you wrote the song for her, right? She's like, Kylie, I can't wait to hear you dedicate this song to me in the gig. Have a good one. So the question is, who gets the dedication?
Oh.
Do you stick with mum or do you stick with Mrs. Kylie? What's going on?
Okay, answer is I've got to stick with Mrs. Kylie because I've got to go home with her. That's it.
Boy, I've always avoided, right, any scenarios that come between someone's wife and their mother, right?
That's
you know
dangerous
what?
ground, man.
I'm getting it today. I'm getting it today. That's a good one.
Ground. Mum, if you're watching, you know, Mum, like it's just, you know what it is, Mum.
Okay, right. Second, final question, right? You've got a great role in a Western musical, yeah? There's you and there's another male lead and you're the leading lights of the show, right? Now there's friendly rivalry between the two of you and the show's been getting like proper rave reviews, right? So you're backstage after yet another particularly stunning performance. You get word that Cameron McIntosh, top West End theatre producer, is in the audience and he wants to quickly come back to meet you and the co-star.
Okay.
Now, you both realise, oh my gosh, this is a massive opportunity, because word on the street is that Macintosh is looking for a male lead for a big new production, right? You both make your way downstairs, to meet him. And your co-star's competitive streak, right, kicks in. You know, he's trying his best to try and psych you out. Just before you enter the green room, right, the co-star flashes you a big smile like, yeah, I got this, yeah. And you notice there's a big chunk of lettuce stuck right between his two front, a massive chunk of lettuce, right? The remnants of his after-show snack. You know first impressions count, right? So do you. Do you smile back and open the door for him to go in first, right? Or do you let him know about the remains of his stir fry?
I'm torn. I think I would probably tell my co-star he's got something in his teeth, you know.
Okay.
I probably would. But there's a percentage of me that wants to go, no, just leave it in. Let him walk in with the lettuce hanging out of his teeth, bro.
Okay, that's good. See, I kind of said recently that the whole point of Tour Life Pop Quiz is for people to completely abandon their principles. It's good to see. It's good to see, right?
I'm trying.
No, you're trying. That's good. That's cool. Kylie, it's been amazing chatting, man.
Oh, absolutely.
We are done. Thanks
really.
so much for doing this, man.
Thank you for having me.
Hopefully, you know what? We need to do some more writing. We're going to do some more writing, man. Let's make it happen.
Yes, definitely. I've been literally, I've not had another EP, so I'm kind of like, I need to get the album done now. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like,
let's do it, man.
We need to make it happen, man.
See you soon, man.
Bro, blessings, man. Take care.
Cool. You can see a man of integrity, a man of principle. I would have left that brother with the lettuce. I'm telling you. He'd be going in with lettuce in his teeth. I'm telling you. Kylie, you're too nice. Like Tula before you guys are just too nice. Just too nice. I'm telling you. Anyway, folks, I want to say thanks to everybody for dropping by. Everyone for logging on. It's really good to see everyone. And as per usual, a few things to bring to your attention. Please visit my website, andrewsmall.net. The track you heard Kylie singing is on my first record, called What Happens Now. It's available from all the usual places. Please grab a copy if you fancy that kind of thing. Cool. My social media handle is Andrew Small Drums. That's Facebook. That's Instagram. It's also YouTube. And on YouTube, you can watch the whole show again in its entirety once I upload it later on this evening. Please, guys, it'd be great if you could pop over to my YouTube channel, subscribe, like, do all the things, get notifications, do all the stuff to really support it so that, we can try and get some more stuff going on with the Monday Snack and other associated bits. So, folks, that is it for this week. Have a wonderful week. Keep safe. I have another great guest next week, which you'll enjoy. Hope to see you then. Take care. See ya.